Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to another video. Now check this out. I know I got all that stuff installed, the big brake kit, all that. The only thing that I forgot to install are these bad boys. The Porsche sticker that goes on front or in front of them. So that's what I'm gonna be doing today. I'm gonna have this camera set up right here to record all that. I'm gonna hop on the GoPro and then you guys can watch me see how it's done. And it's pretty self-explanatory though. Take off the wheel, put the sticker on, put everything back on. But wanted to record a quick video. Some people just like to watch, so that's what I'm doing. So let me get the GoPro on and then we'll get to this. Alrighty guys, so first thing I like to do is I like to take my 17mm socket and I like to break all these bolts loose on the floor. It's a little bit easier, so that way you're not struggling to get your wheel bolts off while it's in the air and you have to fight against the wheel spinning. So you can also see that I use a security lock here, so if you don't have that, don't worry about it. Secondly, I'd like to go in the car and jack it up because my jack does not fit while the car is aired out. Then I like to slowly back out all the wheel bolts by power tool, just because they're a little bit longer, and that way it just goes a little bit faster. It's a little bit more convenient. And as you can see, I have my feet under the wheel, so that way I don't drop the wheel on the caliper. If you do have a wheel hanger, it comes in handy in here. Shout out to Brandon for giving me one, but I didn't have it in this video. So next, you're going to want to make sure you take off that wheel carefully because you do not want to mess up your caliper paint. Then you're going to want to clean the area, because if you don't clean it, then your sticker is not going to stick properly, and then you'll end up with Porsche without the S. So the best way I found to line this sticker up is to take the S in Porsche and line it up with that center bolt there. I try to get it just as straight as possible as I could. As you can see from my point of view section, you can kind of see that it's a little bit straight. Just try to do the best you can here. You can always take it off and remove it. It's vinyl, so don't worry about it if it's a little bit crooked, because chances are people aren't going to really measure the sticker. I also like to press down on the sticker and rub it and make sure all the air bubbles are out of there. And I know it's a thin sticker, but you just never know. Next, I like to take another 17mm and I like to check all of my bolts on the spacer just to make sure that none of them are loose. And I know this isn't a real check, but I will torque them after this video is done. Next, I'm taking my heat gun, and if you guys are any familiar with wrapping or anything vinyl decals, you know that they require some heat to stick on properly. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just taking that heat gun, I'm slowly rubbing the sticker to make sure all of the holes come out, or the bubbles, sorry, and to make sure that it's going to stick properly. You can never do this too much. So next, you can slowly take off the transfer paper. I was in a rush because I wanted to see if it would just come off with the transfer paper. Try to go slowly and heat as you're going along, so that way it comes out perfect and you won't have to redo it. And then here I go again with that heating, just to make sure. And then here I go where I said I was gonna torque down my spacer bolts. That's what I'm doing here. And I like to torque them down to 87 foot-pounds, which is the OEM torque spec. Also remember to always go in a crisscross pattern, like a star. That way you make sure that the tightening force is evenly distributed amongst the spacer, so that way you're not wobbling down the street. Next, like I said, if you have a wheel hanger for this step, I recommend you use it, but for my case, I'm just holding it up with my feet, and I have to slowly line up all the bolts while holding it up, which is a little bit of a process. So if you can get a wheel hanger, I recommend it. And again, with that star pattern, I like to do it, even when holding the wheel on. As you can see here, I'm just putting them in one by one. And this one should be the security bolt. Can't really tell, but. And then here I go again, torquing them back down to 87 foot-pounds. And I know some people in the comments are going to be like, why don't you do them tighter? Well, because that's what OEM spec is, and if you do them tighter, chances are you're going to break your wheel bolts or strip out the bolts in general.
So just try to be careful and try to do this as neat as possible. And that's it for this video, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out.